You're welcome to Let's Talk.
We sit down and talk. We need to sit down and talk. How Nigeria should go, how we're going to do our job.
We want to stand up and say no to corruption. We're going to do our job because you're telling the system. You are not just doing good for yourself or for the nation alone. You also do good for the future.
Boko Haram is an attack. It's a spiritual attack. It's a satanic attack on Nigeria. We must, if we come to recognize it, we will understand then how to look for the solution.
The Sovereign National Conference, how do we want to achieve that in our present system? We need to sit down and iron out how Nigeria should be governed.
Time now, before we start providing solutions. You know, we've done that before. Many people have done it before. I hope the government is listening. I hope they can do something about it this time. This is the time for the government to concentrate on providing the helping hand, the enabling environment for industrial development.
That is where I was going when I said we seem to be robbing Peter to pay Paul. When we say we have external reserves, reserves should come from excess that we have. We have made a certain level of development that we have achieved. So we begin to store for the future so that the future generations can also benefit. You know, there's sustainable prosperity, if you put it that way.
You are correct. You are correct.
But now you find out that there's no infrastructure for the real sector. Talking about what central bank said earlier, that the power sector and transportation is killing, you know, the economy.
Yes.
So what do you think is your role now as a private sector to?
It's not our role; it's their role. Okay. It's not our role that is in question. It's their role. The role of the federal government. The role of the federal government to create the enabling environment for the industrialists to be able to thrive in Nigeria. Okay. That's the role. That's the key sector of it. So you know, if they don't do it, you cannot get anything. You cannot get anywhere. So that is one, and then the government should have to be able to direct the industrialists in a way, because what do we have? If you look at what you have, so what can you make of it? We are blessed with a lot of agricultural inputs. We can make Nigeria the food basket of the world if we want to do it. Okay. But are we doing it? Are we doing it, and are we doing it the right way? If you allow the private sector to lead the agricultural sector, they will get somewhere.
You know, so I like what you said, because you've since the beginning of this discourse, you've been preferring that agriculture is the way to go.
It's the way to go.
And accidentally, we do have a report from former President Olusegun Obasanjo talking about agriculture, that it should be taken as a business.
It's a serious business.
So let's take a look at that report now. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Poised for global relevance and repositioning as a major foreign exchange earner for the country. This, they say, motivated them to seek the support and partnership of the former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, who himself is an established farmer. The former president received the delegation and restated his commitment to agriculture in Nigeria, especially the cashew industry.
There's really no area you can go to ensure that the teeming millions of our youth will ever get satisfaction through job, through employment, job creation, except in two major areas. In the area of agribusiness, agriculture should be seen as a business, not just producing, for instance, cashew and selling it abroad as raw commodity, but growing cashew, processing it, and marketing it both locally and externally.
The delegation, led by its national president, Tola Fashiru, also presented a plaque recognizing the former president as a Nigerian cashew ambassador.
In recognition of the great role that you have played and will continue to play in the development of the Nigerian Nigerian cashew sector, sir. On behalf of the National Cashew Association of Nigeria, we want to give you this prestigious award, sir, of the Nigerian Cashew Ambassador.
Fashiru added that the association is poised to do more with the new agreement the body has reached with Obasanjo on making the cashew industry more viable in Nigeria.
We know that with all that he has done in the past and what it will still do for the sector, we are proud being identified with him and for the great things that he has done for our sector. With him working with us and also moving into the future, we are seeing a whole lot of transformation that will occur in the sector.
If agriculture pays and people can emerge from poverty into middle class, now people will go into agriculture.
This latest endorsement by Obasanjo is one of many the National Cashew Association of Nigeria has sought in its bid to make the cashew industry a viable foreign exchange earner for Nigeria.
You're welcome to Let's Talk.
All right, that was former President Olusegun Obasanjo speaking on agriculture as the way to go to diversify the economy from oil production alone. And so I'm sure you got a lot from that from that report. We were talking that we need to move away from the colonial way of production or just selling raw materials to the West. We should be able to finish the products. Like oil itself has so many extensions, so many products that could be made from it and marketed, you know, to other people. You know.
As we had said earlier on, if a person does not add value to anything, he shouldn't expect a better result. And what has been happening in Nigeria is that we refuse to add value. You buy cocoa raw and sell it to them abroad. Cashew nut raw, sell it to them abroad. Nuts raw, sell it to the rubber raw, sell it to them abroad. What are we doing? That's why, as I said, the government should encourage those sectors to add value to everything that we have.
In every sector.
In every sector, in every agricultural sector. As President Obasanjo said, agriculture is a business. It's not just a service, it's a business. So you see, I witnessed something in Israel. Every day, there are plane loads of flowers going from Israel to other European countries. Plane loads, tomatoes, flowers, and all this, they are going out every morning. Why? A small country like that, with very small population, with very small land, if you throw Israel into Lagos, it will be about a quarter of Lagos.
It's amazing.
And they are servicing the world. And what are we doing in Nigeria? We're looking at this. It's not that we've not been there. Every one of us, we've traveled, the ministers have traveled, everybody has gone here and there. But what did you bring? How do you add value? You're not adding value to what God has given you. When God created the world and put a man in that place, he instructed him to till it to add value to it. If we do that, Nigeria will be a better place.
Thank you very much, sir. The Central Bank has said one of the drawbacks of the shortfall in the oil price is retrenching international banks may break their credit lines with the nation's banks. What do you think that will cause, you know, in the system if international banks break their ties with, you know, Nigerian
it's not their tie; they break their credit
their credit line. Actually,
yeah, their credit line. What happens is that international banks give credit line to each of the banks. They give them, you know, the LC lines. Okay. Again, it's a pity.
It will affect your sector.
It's a pity that Nigeria is still in that stage. We have very many banks in Nigeria that have established abroad in the past 10 years or so. But they are not strong enough today to be able to confirm the letters of credit of the banks in Nigeria. So the banks will still have to go out and say, please give me a credit line so that you can confirm my letters of credit. I think the banking sector has something to think about.
All right.
Can we be able to service our own banks in Nigeria? Can we have banks abroad to service it? I'm not in the central bank. I'm not a bank. So they have to think about it. What can we do to reduce the reliance on the foreign banks. Because we rely on them totally, and if they break, that's it.
There's
you are left
buffer.
with a sick baby in your hand.
Wow. All right, thank you so much. You've been wonderful, sir. I really appreciate you coming to the show.
Thank you very much.
I hope you'll make it next time when we invite you to come
Thank
over.
you very much. And congratulations for this, your studio. The upgrade of the studio is fantastic.
Thank you. I'm glad you feel welcome. It's great to have you, sir. Well, that's how Let's Talk has been on today's show. I hope you had a wonderful time. The question is, are we adding value? We must add value, and we must move our economy away from just oil production as a total dependence. We have to move elsewhere, which is agriculture. Agriculture is the way to go. And I definitely hope the government will do that in the nearest possible time. Well, that's all we can take, as I said earlier. My name is Henry Williams, and thank you for joining us. See you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.